Is a balanced life possible? So, some of my life goals, I've mentioned this before in the class. I want to pursue ophthalmology, and I also want to have a family. Family is very important to me, and both the career and family life are very demanding. One of the reasons that I would like to pursue ophthalmology, aside from generally being interested in that specialty, is that it does allow for a better home work life balance than some other specialties in medicine. There's not as much call, so it's more of a typical 9 to 5 style life, which would give more time for family. That's one of the reasons why Defining a Doctor was one of the readings that I chose from. It spoke to me. Um, the quote that I chose was, "The woman cared too much, the man cared too little. When patients died, the man shrugged and the woman cried. If for no other reason than that one, let us hope that the medicine of the future still has room for people like her." In this reading, there's a list of reasons why the woman caring too much was bad. Her dozing off at work and falling asleep at home while trying to do readings. Um, but the man listed in the reading saw the job as just a job, when in medicine you do have to sacrifice some aspects of your life because you are dealing with another human life. It's not something that you can just go home to and get away from. It does follow you. But that's one of the things that I find interesting in medicine and something that I really care about. I also chose a quote from Don't Quit This Day Job. I quoted, "Students who aspire to go to medical school should think about the consequences before they decide to work part-time or leave clinical medicine. It's fair to ask them, women especially, to consider conflicting demands that medicine and parenthood make before they accept." And this article gave a lot of reasons why it's a bad idea to leave medicine, and it's not as simplistic as leaving other careers. But this article, let's see. I believe the woman said that she went to medical school in 1987. That's when she took her board exams. And a lot has changed since 1987. This quote angered me because it made it seem like parenthood was predominantly the woman's responsibility. And typically, there are two parents involved. I know there are single households, which is a completely different dynamic, but anybody looking to go into parenthood should consider this before going to medical school. Um, there is a balance, and that's why you have a partner to help in those aspects. So the way that I would sum it up is that balance is not separation, but unification, which seems a little bit contradictory, but hear me out. Um, if your work is simply just work, then it's going to feel much more unbalanced, work life and home life. Um, because work is nothing more, and you're just waiting until you can get off the clock so you can go back home to have your life back. And that's why I think it's so important to go into a career where, even if it's a demanding career, that it's going to fill into your life. It needs to be something that you genuinely love. Because specifically in my aspect of practicing medicine, medicine goes home with you. You're dealing with human lives and not just like paperwork that you can leave on the desk and come back to the next day. So it does go home with you, and that's why if it's something that you really care about and you really love doing, then it's not going to feel like such a separation of work life and home life. And that is where I see the balance, is where there's actually more of a gray area and not so much of a hard line. Here are my works cited. I think I went over time. I'm sorry, I couldn't sum that up any faster. Okay, thanks.